Hi, I'm Stevi Zabawa, and I am a local filmmaker and also a hairstylist, and I am in the Brooks basement. I think I'm gonna start really strong in my comedy choice. This is Anchorman, Will Ferrell, absolutely amazing. I would love to be in the writer's room for this. I laughed so hard, and before social media became so prevalent and like reels and these like quick things, we would watch movies like Anchorman over and over and over and over, and then we would learn the lines and we would just say like milk was a bad choice over and over and over, and we would be laughing hysterically walking through malls and going out and about and being with people. If you have not gotten to see Anchorman, if you were born in like the 2000s, maybe you should check this out and all of these types of movies, because it's just like so pure and fun. And I think that like the world is so serious now. Going back to a cult classic, The Breakfast Club. I remember the first time I ever watched The Breakfast Club, I was in high school and I was sick. TBS always played The Breakfast Club over and over and over. It's really cool to see the way that the world viewed high schoolers back then. You know, it was very like rare to be friends with all types of people. And I think The Breakfast Club kind of told me what not to do whenever I became a teenager in high school. Like, you should be friends with a jock. You should be friends with the nerd. You should be friends with the popular girl, because you're gonna learn something from them. And it was cool to see this group of people come together by the end of the film and really just like, maybe they weren't going to become friends, but they could appreciate somebody that was different than them. Romeo and Juliet, but not Romeo and Juliet the way that I learned in school. Romeo and Juliet the way that I saw what movies could be. And I loved the colors, I loved the visuals, I loved the production design of the whole thing. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and it captured me from a young age to the point that I even had like the soundtrack growing up. But I know that this also had to do with the fact that I was in love with Leonardo DiCaprio and I thought we would be together one day, but I'm actually too old for him, I found out. I love that they represented Juliet's character very like sweet and innocent, and like she wore white, she didn't have makeup on, her hair was very plain, but then everybody else in the film was very colorful. Like basically the dudes wore button-up t-shirts that had like big designs on them, and the colors of like everything around Juliet was very bold and big, but Juliet was so a calm in the whole movie. Everything else, like all the color and all the crazy, would kind of like fizzle out, and you would just see Juliet being perfect. I don't know, in a way. Anyways, that's what I got from Romeo and Juliet. I thought it was amazing. If you've not seen this one, please check it out.
I think almost all of us had that soundtrack back in the day.
Oh my gosh, right? It was great. Okay, my next film is another John Hughes. Uncle Buck, 10 out of 10. I'm now watching it with my kids every year. Everything you see John Candy doing, you're like, oh, I don't want to be like that. But his heart was so pure that you just like fell in love with his character by the end of it. And so did the kids. I thought the child actors in this film were so awesome. Like Macaulay Culkin and John Candy are sitting there talking, and it's very quick and very like stoic. Nobody has expression on their face. I thought that was really amazing. Uncle Buck for me was that physical comedy like to perfection because of his car being loud. He was just fun, weird. And then at the end, you know, he saved the cat. There's this thing, basically like you hate this character for a while and then they end up saving the cat, and they are the best character in the whole film. And that's what John Candy was in Uncle Buck for me. A Mighty Wind, the late, great Catherine O'Hara. This film is just, it's what I want to make in filmmaking. I love something so simple This film is so funny. Eugene Levy and her are just, they're classic. And I think with comedy, I don't really know how they got through it. Like, I don't know how they got through the takes of this film without laughing. It had to have been like several takes because they are just so professional and so funny. So this one is it's the type of comedy that I don't think is for everyone. A lot of people can't appreciate this kind of comedy, but if you are open-minded and you can just roll with it, it's kind of like the best thing I've ever seen. So you should get into it. Mallrats. Back in the day, we did go to the mall. We had time where we spent just like hanging out at the mall, and mom and dad did not know where we were and they didn't care, and it was great. So this film is like it's definitely a classic now, like writing comedy, writing those things. I just think this one is definitely gold. So yes, I guess I'm really just talking about some classic comedies today of what I think is just really important on building character for kids and remembering like the good stuff. You know, we have so much coming at us. It's like, let's just put on a movie and just chill for a little bit and just like enjoy the simple things. So Mallrats, 10 out of 10. Thanks for having me in the Brooks basement. I had a blast. I always appreciate a good conversation about movies and about films. If you would like to watch my short film, you can click the link below. It is called Nan, and it's a Force Party Films production. So thanks so much.